hello there. Welcome back to another episode of the Ctrl Salt Delete podcast. That's right, we're at episode 7. This is a podcast about all things fun and gaming. That's right, we talk about video games, tabletop board games, D&D, and game music and audio. I'm your host, Tony Brattoli, and thank you for joining us again. This podcast is typically recorded in video format, posted on our YouTube channel, along with our other amazing play and video content, while the audio version of this show, that you're probably hearing right now in your ear holes, airs every Tuesday on all major podcast streaming platforms, and I realize today is Wednesday, because I'm behind once again. But that's how things go. And if you want to leave a comment or a review on iTunes, or any of the podcasting apps, it would be fully appreciated. Make sure to join our follow list on our website, csdcast.com, so that you don't miss out on most of our content, including all of our social handles at csdcast, and that's for Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And if you would like to submit a question to be answered on our podcast, please submit it to email@csdcast.com. We will read it and answer it the best we can. Last but not least is our Patreon account, which is a constant work in progress and will be packed full of exclusive content for you guys. So if you feel so inclined, consider joining one of our fantastic membership tiers at patreon.com/csdcast. And with that, let's get into it. So, as you can see, yes, it's been a couple of weeks since the last episode, and that was done in the comforts of my car on the road there. A little bit of a impromptu field recording, as I called it. But since then, a few things have happened. Some friends of mine and I went to see the poppy fields out in the Antelope Valley. This year is supposed to be a super bloom, so there's supposed to be, quite a lot of them. But unfortunately, the day that we went, it's a little too early, so it was kind of patchy. But I mean, when you could see them, they were quite lovely. It's also very, very windy there, so we had some allergy issues. And when the wind blows through, I mean, it's a giant wind tunnel, those hills up there, and whew, it's pretty cold as well. So we got to see some of the flowers. Not as vast as one would hope, but maybe in a couple months it'll be much better. Some more developments. I have some more students. I've had a composition student for a while. The music school I used to teach at reached out to me again and offered some more students up, which is great. So I have now a trumpet student, and this past Saturday I actually covered because they were at the NAMM show. If you're not aware of what that is, the acronym I can't remember. I think it's the National Association of Music Merchants. Yes, that is correct. So it's all of these music brands, instrument brands, gear brands, like microphones, recording gear, things like that. They all show up at a convention in Anaheim. It was in Anaheim this time. And they just bring all their stuff and show it off, upcoming things and demo things. They usually have signature artists there that are, promoting a product, like the instrument itself, or maybe the pickups on a bass or something. So they have like little shows, and yes, that's where the school owners were. So because of that, they had a couple of us teachers kind of take over their students for the weekend. So Saturday I had like a pretty full schedule in the morning. But it was fun. So that was some piano and guitar students. So yeah, I play a few instruments. That's just how I am. Sorry, I don't know. So that's about it. I don't really have anything else to say. So we'll move on to this week review. All right, so the pick for this week is a game that I backed on Kickstarter called Curse of the Sea Rats. Now, this is one that I talked about before and actually got some hype with it they did some actual marketing campaigns, and it went all the way through. They made it from Kickstarter to a public release on, I think, all platforms. I happen to get it on Steam. I got a Steam code for it. And this is kind of, it's a roguelike, hand-drawn style game, and it's kind of a platformer, kind of a action adventure game, all mixed into one. The main story is that your pirate ship crash landed. Well, actually, I don't think it's a pirate ship. You're actually on a British ship. Crash landed, and you, your shipmates, and the captain have all been turned into rats by a witch, who also happened to steal the captain's son. So the mission is to save his son while he stays at the ship to like uphold his legacy and dignity, what have you. I'd say the hand-drawn style is pretty cool overall. The story, kind of lackluster. It's very slow. I don't really like I don't know, there's something about the voice acting. There's something about it just didn't feel good. I also didn't find the gameplay too appealing either, unfortunately. Just not sure about this one. Honestly, I got bored pretty fast, which is unfortunate. But if you want to check it out, it's there. I wish I had some better things to say about it, but I don't know. I couldn't play it long enough to really like appreciate it. There's just something about it that didn't allow me to do that. I just kind of got bored, and yeah. So if you want to check it out, I mean, it's there. It's on Switch. It's on Steam. It's on everything, I think. We'll also probably put a review score up on their website, csdcast.com. So check out our reviews page there. I know I've been promising a couple articles in there, so I will put those up as well. So, but with that, let's go spelunking the catacombs. Okay, so this segment is all about the world of D&D, or Dungeons and Dragons. So this past Saturday, I ran session 2 of Tyranny of Dragons. It actually turned out pretty interesting. So there, in this campaign, I think I mentioned it before, that it's a bit of a mess. So they reveal things a little too early in the chapters, I think. So change it up a little bit to kind of leave it up to this point in the past session to where they finally find out who these bandits were and kind of what they're trying to do. So they made it into this cave that was at the rebel camp, and they decided to go and try to seduce one of the higher ranking members of this group, which he was not having it. So he basically was like, I don't know what you're trying to do to me here, but let's fight. So they all decided to, well, they didn't decide. He decided to fight them, and I actually made it a little bit easier because the actual encounter in the book, it's this guy who is a half dragon and is very strong. He has a move where he can literally do, 65 plus damage in a line, which would have literally killed the entire party. Considering their highest health points is 28, I think. So they would have all instantly died. So I didn't do that. I decided to go with a melee attack, which did instantly down one of them, but they were able to kill him before anything else happened. And again, it should have been a lot harder because this NPC has 6 guards surrounding him, which are berserkers. And if you know what berserkers are, they have a very high health and are quite strong. So each of them probably had about 70 health each, and there would have been 6 of them plus him, the half dragon. That would have been really difficult, even though they have 6 characters in the party. Yeah, it's just not a fight that's really supposed to happen right there. They could have gone through other areas of the cave, but decided to go there. They found a secret tunnel, and that's where he was. So very interesting how that turned out. That's kind of how we ended it because combat took so long in most of these areas. They got ambushed. Oh, they also found some dragon eggs. One of the characters, or one of the players, tried to take the eggs using a spell called Mage Hand, which is pretty funny. Just kind of reach out in there and try and pull the egg, but obviously he got caught doing that, and some of the inhabitants of the cave were not happy about them trying to steal eggs, and that's kind of where we stopped there. So it's going to be a continuation the next time, which whenever that's going to be, I don't know, maybe late May. And then the other campaign, Tales from the Yawning Portal, is happening this coming Saturday. I am not ready yet. I had a map ready to go, however, I was kind of messing with the resolution of it and the settings, and all of my walls kind of shifted in a weird direction and kind of got off from the map. I tried to pull them all back and it just didn't work, so I redrew all of the walls. I still have to put in all of the doors and everything, and this is in Foundry VTT. It's just been the best program for this. I mean, it's so much easier to keep track of everything. We also found there's a plugin called Beyond 20, and that will sync anything that happens from the D&D Beyond apps into Foundry, into their character sheets in the game, in the virtual tabletop. So it's very helpful for me as a DM because D&D Beyond is just so helpful with keeping track of everything. So if they get damaged or have a condition or something, they can do it on the app, and then I just have to refresh the page, and the plugin will bring in that condition or health change to the character sheet in Foundry, which is great. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. Not everyone's gonna be using D&D Beyond though for Yawning Portal, so I might have to do some manual things, but that's okay. Not a big deal. I know that some like the pen and paper or pencil and paper thing with D&D. I mean, that's how I first started playing, so it's just a lot to keep track of, and something like Foundry is just so much easier. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm very curious to see what they find out, especially because I'm running 2 different campaigns now, and my brain is all over the place. So I'm also trying to remember how this goes so that I can DM it properly. So wish me luck. Yeah. We shall see. So again, the next segment is usually looking out for the little guy, where we find Kickstarter project spotlights and kind of give it some extra light through the show. Did not find any again this week. It's been light in that area, but also I didn't look, so I don't know about this past week. I'm sorry. No projects to speak of this time, but that's all right. We'll get into game music and audio. Okay, this part of the show is where I like to put my degree in film, TV, and video game composition to some good use. I wanted to add a segment where we can talk about game music and audio and sound design. Typically, I try to tie in the game played in this week's review segment. However, today is going to be unique yet again. I have also been playing a game called Ghostwire Tokyo that they pushed out to Xbox Game Pass. I found out this game actually came out in 2022 and has very mixed reviews on Steam, but at least my opinion in playing it on Game Pass, this game is quite good. I mean, it's one of those kind of survival horror type games, post-apocalyptic world. Essentially, like this mist came through and essentially killed everyone in Tokyo, and you somehow survived because this powerful spirit person inhabited your body and gave you powers. So, I mean, this game is very anime. It's made by Tango Gameworks, who you've heard before because they made Hi-Fi Rush and some other survival horror games outside of Ghostwire. And this is also published by Bethesda. So they have a pretty good relationship going, I think. And this game is no exception to, their amazing catalog. So, yeah. So the sound design in this game is, I think it's comparable to something like Hogwarts Legacy, where the spells and some things that you have just resonate in your ears so well, or just give you that feeling of just, yeah, like I did this thing and it feels good. There's one thing that you do in the game where you shoot energy at these like ghost hunter things. I'm not really sure what they're called. They call them visitors in the game, but they kind of look like just terrifying ghost zombie things, like kind of Slenderman looking creatures. Once you damage them enough, you can pull out their like soul core or something, and that's a really cool animation and sound. So you pull like these strings with your fingers, and then you pull the core out, and then you like send them back to the afterlife or something. And just that whole sequence of events is so cool to your ears. I mean, it's similar to like using a curse in Hogwarts Legacy, just that booming thing, and it's just it feels good. I really praise sound designers for making things feel good to hear, which it's an interesting concept, but it's kind of like being at a rock show or something, or it's listening to music that you really like. The combination of instruments and how they put together the song just feels good in your head and your body. So it's very similar to sound design. It just sounds great. The music, actually, I don't remember, which might be a good thing because I've said it before, and it's said all across the industry, good music shouldn't be like in the way, or like you shouldn't really, if you watch a movie or something and all you could remember is the music, that means it might have been a little bit too in your face and kind of interfering with what's going on screen. So I think that's similar in this case to Ghostwire Tokyo. The music is just perfectly in the background and helping to aid the story more than being in the front line. So yeah, Ghostwire Tokyo, check that out. It is currently on Game Pass, and it's apparently been out for a year already, and it has some DLC and stuff, so a little late in the game, I guess, but it was quote-unquote new on Game Pass. So I've been picking that up, and yeah, it's been pretty fun. It also has this like tracking feature, kind of like all the Arkham games, where you can it makes like this droplet noise, and it shows a like blue outline of stuff, and it can highlight things in the area. Like if you're trying to follow a person or a ghost, it shows like their remnants of where they walked. It also shows you, where you have to go next, and like some objects that you can interact with in the area. So pretty cool. That droplet sound also has a nice little reverb and echo thing to it. Sounds great. Okay, so that's my take on that. So if you want to check that out, Ghostwire Tokyo. Let's move into emails and closing. Okay, so once again, we normally would read some emails that are sent in to us. The inbox is crickets, so if you would like to send in something for us to read, send it to email@csdcast.com. All your questions, thoughts, comments, theories, threats, whatever you want to send it to that mailbox. And thank you for listening to the Ctrl Salt Delete podcast. I have been your host, Tony Brattoli. Make sure to follow us on all of our socials at csdcast.com on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel as well so you can stay up to date for all of our content. And check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/csdcast. Becoming a member there grants you access to our community Discord server and unlocks some special content just for you. And hope to see you in the next episode. Take care, everybody.